Well, in the first place, as I mentioned, we've debated about this so long, and I've talked to quite a number of people in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it seems to me that there's one thing that the citizens of Dallas want us to do, and that's to make up our mind what we're going to do on this city hall. I feel that there's a lot of other things that need to be done, and if we can get this thing behind us one way or the other, then this will give us an opportunity to do other constructive things for the city.
Well, the clearances can be attributed, I think, to a number of factors. Number one is that the C.I.D. personnel are probably working harder now than they ever have before. They're really caught up in the fever of trying to get these clearances up as high as possible. And the men in the field have made some very unusual catches of late, and they've made a lot of good recoveries. And I think team effort on the part of C.I.D. personnel and other line divisions has led to some big clearances that we've experienced in the last month or two. And I think this is a team effort that we can attribute this to rather than any one specific thing.
This time prepared to state who. I'm certain that any person, for example, who has a case in his court who lives in Grand Prairie or Irving obviously had to be influenced by that letter.
Our studies show that one supersonic transport would pollute the atmosphere less than 3 uncontrolled automobiles. We find that the jet engine is one of the cleanest forms of propulsion that there is around, and the automobile seems to be the big culprit, and the diesel engines and so forth. We think that by sometime in the mid-1970s, if we don't get a better control on the automobiles, it's going to be pretty bad news for the people who have to live in areas such as Los Angeles, where there's quite a bit of smog in the air.
This is a very difficult situation for secondary schools. We're very concerned and confused, but our work is in relation with the Texas Education Agency, which supervises our activities, both academic and social. We are now working with the Education Agency in workshops to fulfill the requirements set forth by the last legislature in teaching the ill effects of drugs and narcotics on youngsters from grade 5 through 10. This program, we're having pilot programs all over the state, and this program is being implemented with the use of youngsters in the program, and it eventually will involve all the community activities, the churches, the social clubs, the parents, the parent group, and the school people. Now, no one has an answer except, excuse me, we are looking for answers from competent authorities, and we're not sure how extensive this is. Everyone has their own ideas and say 90% or 80% of the kids are on drugs, but it is a concern, and we will be working in this area for many years to come, and I feel like we will make tremendous growth and emphasizing learning about drugs and effect on youngsters.
There's a lot of talk about one of these days we're going to run out of water. Do you really have any such fears?
Not at all. I think we may run out of water if we prolong the rates of use that we're using right now. For instance, you and I, as city dwellers, probably use about 150 gallons per person per day. A lot of this is used up in activities which we could easily give up if it was in our interest to give it up. And this will be the case when the water is priced high enough to discourage us from doing this. For instance, I'll have a concrete lawn when it becomes too expensive to put water on my lawn, and I'm sure my life will go on much as it was. But while water's cheap, I'll use it to irrigate my lawn. And these kind of adjustments we can make.
Does this also mean that we may have to find another way to take a bath one of these days?
I don't think dry cleaning's around the corner.